What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Always Occupied Home and Product Reviews, and in this review we are going to go over the E3 spark plugs. It's time to open the box on this, and you can see this has a diamond shape on it. So this sparks three ways. In the traditional sparks up one way, and this one goes in three directional sparks. This has some bad reviews on it, but also the NGKs has some bad reviews on it. Now, it is still doing pretty fine for me, so let's see how these work out. Obviously, I can't do a final review just like I'm doing my NGKs. I had them in there for over a year and a half to 2 years. So, yeah. And also, like I said, I do a lot of delivery work. I do a lot of driving, at least 100 miles a day, probably plus. All right, so this is the E3 for my Mercury, and for my Ford Expedition V8, y'all can definitely see the difference. All right, now I do have one of these in my Ford Expedition because my Ford Expedition spark plug had a cylinder misfire on that like 8 years ago. So this is the bad one. You may say, why did you keep it? I usually just have stuff lying around. So this is all the E3s for my truck, all the coils. I got this from eBay, and I do not remember. I will have to look. I think my father-in-law bought it, and I paid him for it. So he was shopping on eBay, and he saw these. And like I said, this was like 8 years ago. So these spark plugs been out for a while. Okay, just a different style. It says it's have better spark, better fuel consumption, blah 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 blah.
Good. I just had this for you today. Thank you. Have a good one.
You too. We got something that just came in the mail, you guys. More Team U. Like, comment, and subscribe. All right, everybody, so I put in everything is good. All of the new spark plugs in there, the E3 spark plugs. Spark plug 1 and 2 was loose, and I think that's what was causing the hesitation. Now, if you also have hesitation, you may have a vacuum leak also. When I had hesitation years ago, it was a vacuum hose in the back part of the valve cover, so you had to literally take the valve cover off to get to the vacuum hose. So we made a little smoke thing. Okay, that's blah 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 blah. But anyways, so that could cause a hesitation too. So whenever you start your car up, the first time you start up and it goes like, and then after a while it starts getting into its original idle, then it's either a vacuum leak, it could be spark plugs, it could be something. That's why I'm not a mechanic, and I don't feel like working on people's cars because I don't feel like overlooking 10,000 different things. Let's go ahead and get into the specs. All right, so it says E3 spark plugs. The DiamondFIRE ground electrode configuration increases the amount of combustion pressure created during each power stroke of an engine, which results in a marked increase in power and output, fuel economy, and reduced emissions in all gasoline engines. All right. Smoother acceleration and idle. So that's one thing we're looking for. The faster flame, blah, 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 blah. I want to get to these parts. So we want to look at energy and efficiency. Okay. Now, pay attention to this. Energy. More pressure is created against the cylinder and more of the available fuel is put to work. Power is improved 3% to 6% on average in typical operating ranges. Typical operating ranges. Results may vary. Results may vary. All right, now we got that part out the way. All right, you guys, so we're about to get into the efficiency of this. All right, pay attention again. Another benefit of E3's faster flame propagation is less fuel is wasted. All right, resulting in improved fuel efficiency. Basically, they told us that on top. Lab and dyno testing typically results in 3 to 4% improved brake specific fuel consumptions. Results may vary. Again, results may vary. You guys, a company will try to sell you anything, you guys. One thing I noticed when they say results may vary, and what is their other one? Results may vary and typical operating ranges. So whatever typical operating ranges is a typical operating range 20 miles a day. Maybe somebody drive 10 miles to work and then 10 miles back. They didn't really specify what is typical operating ranges. Okay, so with that being said, maybe they're saying that to cover their tails. Who knows? I know some of these reviews has some pretty messed up stuff, like the diamond tip, the tip part. Somebody posted on Amazon how it burnt up and stuff like that. So hopefully that don't happen to us, and hopefully our engine don't get destroyed. Because if our engine gets destroyed, I will go to the junkyard and swap out an engine. Or I might put a show engine in here. If you don't know the Ford Taurus show, then yeah, that's a sleeper car, just in case y'all don't know. So Ford Taurus show basically debuted, I think, in the late 80s, early 90s. Early 90s, the Ford Taurus show debuted. And they actually had the 2000, this model, like my little jelly bean model, the Ford Taurus that looked like a jelly bean. They actually had the Taurus show in that generation, but the issue was they had an engine problem. I think it was an engine mount problem. I'm not sure, but they said it wasn't welded right. So hey, you know, maybe I might put that engine in here if something ever happens to this engine, because I don't plan on buying another car anyway. Anyways, you guys, so let me do my final thoughts about this after I spark it up and drive I might hit 100 miles today as far as delivery work goes, but I'll let y'all know how it works out.